People keep talking and talking, quoting and quoting, sometimes dead wrong, and many times dead brained. We'll take a quick, fun, somewhat parodic look at people who quote Bruce Lee all the time, but somehow just don't seem to understand what he's saying. Hello, everyone. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, and welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast number 105. This is the one about don't fuss over a name while creating opportunities to be like water, my friend. So as you're logging in, if you guys would be kind enough to say where you're logging in from and hit the like button. And hey, Mark Stewart's here, Mark David Collins. Hey, Mark David Collins, you made it. All right. So if you guys would just say where you're logging in from, hit the like button and feel free to continue doing so throughout the broadcast. All right. So hopefully you're old enough. I know Mark Stewart is. Hopefully you're old enough to have gotten the joke in today's broadcast title. In case you're not, let me tell you, it's my take on a 1990s parody film, Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood, I think, right? Yeah. So that was a thing where the Wayans brothers made fun of what at the time were some fairly popular films about life in the hood, particularly in like Los Angeles and what have you. So I just thought that it would be a good take for today's broadcast title. So firstly, people are always requoting Bruce Lee saying, Jeet Kune Do, it's just a name, don't fuss over it. And where they get this wrong, in my opinion, is that they apply the fussing part to Jeet Kune Do itself instead of applying it to the name. In other words, Bruce Lee was saying, don't get caught up in calling Jeet Kune Do by a name as if it's another martial arts style. And I think that this is evidenced by his insistence that he had not, in fact, created a new style, composite, or whatever. You'll remember that in Liberate Yourself from Classical Karate, Bruce Lee said, do remember, however, that Jeet Kune Do is merely a convenient name. I am not interested with the term itself. I am interested in its effect of liberation when JKD is used as a mirror for self-examination. So I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I fail to see how someone who invested so much effort into his own development would be saying to not fuss at all over the practice or the training that is required for said development. Okay? All right. So I don't know if you need to, but I don't think we need to hear anything else other than that to realize that he never intended for people to relegate Jeet Kune Do to like some trash bin of martial arts discussion or even martial arts acceptance. So then secondly, there is the all famous, and it really is famous. It is, but let me show you guys this. So I don't know if you can see my mouse here, but listen, but here's what this says. It's to James, right? It says circumstances. Hell, I make circumstances. That is not at all what you find online. If you're on your laptop, or if you can do it now, do a Google search for Bruce Lee about circumstances, and you will get over 100 misrepresentations of this because nobody gets it right. You will not even see that correct depiction anywhere on Google. What you see instead is, to hell with circumstances, I create opportunities. That's the garbage that you see. Now, this one, like I think this one is more forgivable since a lot of people may not have come across the actual source for this quote, right? So you can kind of understand when even people who should know better get it wrong. Now, if you want to know where that is, it can be found right here. You can see how I'm showing off with my new media tricks, right? It's right here on page 44 of Jeet Kune Do, The Art and Philosophy of Bruce Lee. That's where you can find that picture. And then you could go ahead and spread the correct quote around the internet, right? And we can get rid of that. Okay, so then next thing is the be water, my friend thing, right? And that one's funny because it's like there'll be a discussion going on and somebody will just jump in and go, "Be water, my friend," as if those 4 words like encapsulate the totality of Bruce Lee or of Jeet Kune Do or whatever. And the thing is, you should do this sometime. The next time somebody says that to you in like a martial art context or a Bruce Lee context, just say to them, "So what do you think he meant by that?" And you probably will not get an answer, right? Because it sounds cool. It's on the YouTube, so everybody knows, you know, to repeat it. What they don't seem to get is the deeper idea that Bruce Lee is talking here about the no-mindedness of the principle of Wu Xing and the non-action actionness of the principle of Wu Wei. And this was a thing that he wrote about in May 1962. So you might not be able to find that online, but if you can get to this, here's a source for it on where is it? Pages 5 to 19. So what Sifu Dan did in Absorb What Is Useful is he reprinted the entire 19-page essay that Bruce Lee wrote. I think it was a term paper, right, entitled "The Tao of the Tao of Kung Fu." I think commentaries on the Chinese martial way or something like that. But anyhow, that's where you can find it. So people seem to think that it is only the idea of you know, keeping flowing. That's what that "be water, my friend" thing applies to. But what it actually implies is working also on your mind to get to the point where nothing is perceived as an obstacle. So that instead of merely going around an obstacle as water might, you actually, even if metaphorically, remove the obstacle. Do you get it? Okay. So let me just say something here. A lot of people, because I mean, you guys see me reference Sifu Dan's books a lot here on the broadcast, right? And so everybody knows that I'm, I don't know, I guess you could call it partial or if you want to. But a lot of people put stock in criticizing Dan Inosanto because he's well known for promoting Filipino martial arts, Indonesian martial arts, and, you know, all that so-called non-JKD stuff. But I suggest that they listen closely to what old-timers like Chris Kent, like Tanya Subing Monroe, Cameron Rico, listen to what those people have to say about training either in Inosanto's backyard or at the old Kali Academy in Torrance. And you just might hear, if you keep your ears open, you just might hear about how much experimentation went into what they were doing. And then additionally, if you could get your hands on these Jeet Kune Do, because let me show you on the title, I think on the title it says it right here, a Jeet Kune Do guidebook, right? If you could get your hands on some of these Jeet Kune Do guidebooks that are authored by Dan Inosanto, you'll see that he has a deep insight into what is Jeet Kune Do, right? So I hope that you can see that the old school wisdom, let's call it, does not apply to Jeet Kune Do. Here's what I mean by that. So here's another famous quote that you'll see by the Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. Now, the funny thing about that is that Lao Tzu is the author of the Tao Te Ching, which is what, like 5,000 words or something. So I don't think that he meant that wise people do not speak at all. I think he meant to say that it's another deeper meaning, right? As in, wisdom cannot be acquired or displayed by speaking only, right? So likewise with Bruce Lee, another great Chinese philosopher, you cannot deal with these sayings on merely a superficial level. You kind of got to go deeper to get this stuff, right? And part of that is because JKD is not like other martial art methods out there, because if those of us who know, who are smaller in number, of course, if we do not speak out, then the founder of Jeet Kune Do will continue to be disparaged by those who do not know. And the art will start to disappear from the martial arts landscape. So Jeet Kune Do being a renegade approach, the normal rules do not apply. The renegade rules, the rebel rules apply when it comes to JKD. All right, okay, so that's it for today. Feel free, share, like, comment, ask me questions if you want. I'll review everything after posting. Sign up for notifications for when we go live here on Facebook. And please subscribe over on the YouTube channel for the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast, for the Jeet Kune Do dialogues. And I promised Mark Stewart that the FMA files, I'll get it up and running early in 2020, right? So when you're over there on the YouTube, please make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter at Dwight Woods and on Instagram at Dwight D. Woods. ilovejeetkunዶ.com, Quick Skill Series Volume 1. Volume 2 will be put out in 2020, but the Quick Skill Series is available over there. Coming up on Friday, December 6th, Jeet Kune Do Dialogues with Bruce Lee historian and author Steve Carriage. That's Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Today's a pastel day. This is one of my favorite with the little pastel colors in there, right? And we'll see you back here, some of you on Friday, some of you next Wednesday for another issue of the I Love Jeet Kune Do broadcast. P.S. If you think the world has gotten tired of Kung Fu, check out the new Netflix documentary, Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks. Mark Stewart gave me a heads up about that just like a couple hours ago, and I just finished watching it before coming on the broadcast. If you're a lover of all things Kung Fu, you're gonna dig this thing, right? Okay, so that's it. This is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Do Rebel, signing off. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Take care now.